Now guys, now that we've done our external walls, I'll just kind of quickly have a look at them there. So that's our external walls and the columns done. Again, just check the 3D that they're on the right levels. If we go back to ground floor, what we're going to do now is put some internal walls in now as well. So if you go to architecture wall, so if you go down to the type selector in the properties panel, we're going to pick any internal wall. So the ones that are internal, obviously INT. So one I'm going to pick here is 12 plasterboard with 70 mil metal stud work with 12 mil plasterboard on the other side. So that's my standard metal stud wall type I'm going to choose. Height, it should be to first floor. It should automatically do that by default. Location line can be center line. Again, you can pick whichever one you want, but I'll just pick center line. Again, chain and no offset. To draw the wall, again, if you just hover over the wall or any point in the model, use your snapping points, select, and then you can just draw your walls. You'll see there, it will ideally overlap them, like I haven't done there, but overlap them so that it does connect in to it does connect in. Okay, we'll come back to that error there later on, but so that the key is here that the plasterboard follows its way around and joins up. So you can actually just select them. And again, if I do a wall here, I'll do a wall on this side, and then the plasterboard joins up. Again, ideally it should just sit inside so that it joins up. Again, just make sure it just sits inside, and then again we'll fix that detail later on. Next thing I'm going to do is add a wall in the midpoint. So here again, midpoint is a triangle, is a purple triangle to midpoint, which is just follow that line through. Again, that will join the wall at midpoint. And I'll draw this one in here. So wall, line to line. Again, it will just connect them up as well. Okay, so you should have now the walls there. Okay, so that was one way of creating walls. So what I'm going to do now is create specific walls for my design. I've got them in front of me. So one way I do that is I would typically put the walls in roughly and then go back and adjust them for accuracy. Okay, so I don't worry about accuracy at the start. I would sketch them in, and then I would go and change them and change the dimensions and adjust them to make it as per what I want and as per my design that I've got. Okay, so for me in this corner, I'm putting all my building core, which is obviously the staircase, the toilets, and that kind of stuff, stores. So everything's going to be located in this corner of my building. So I'm going to start to model that part first. So for me, again, architecture wall. For me, there's two key things that I'm starting with is that I'm putting a wall around this column grid, and then I'm going to infill it with the other rooms. Okay, so so my first wall is going to be location line will be finish face, finish core exterior or interior doesn't really matter because it's exactly the same on internal walls. So for example, if I go up to here, if I click on this line here, actually if I click on external finish, actually, so I'm going to click on external finish interior to match inlet with that one. So there we go. So I want my plasterboard to run straight on this outer face into the room, so I don't see the column. So I go around this column, and then again here, I'm just going to go around this column here, and then finish it off on this side here. Or actually, just you can finish it off slightly less than that. So you can finish it off on there. Okay, so that's my finish face of my walls type there. Just fix that. Come back to that later. Okay, so I know all my rooms are going to be placed within that space. So I'm going to now draft in or sketch in what I think my layout is going to look like for my walls and toilets and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to click on architectural wall, same wall type. This can be centerline, makes no difference in this case. I'm going to sketch it in. So I know that there's going to be a corridor that's going to sit somewhere in the middle of this space. So I'm going to create a corridor. And then I know there's going to be maybe a corridor here to get into my staircase. And my staircase is going to be somewhere around here. I think in my design I've got a service core here somewhere, so where all the building services and cupboards are for IT and that. And then I've got my lift core that forms part of the next little slot. Then on this side, I've got the male and female toilets. So I've got the male, and then I've got the disabled in the middle, and then I've got the female on the other side. So male, disabled, female, and then again I'm going to have probably a rear core kind of space where all the pipework and cleaner store can be accessed from that side as well. So that's my basic kind of sketch of my layout of my plan for that space. Now, for me to be accurate now, what I'm going to do is start to work my way around this to make it more accurate and as per what I want. So if I click on, for example, this wall, I know this wall is, sorry, I know, I'll start at this side here actually. Okay, so I know this wall is going to be 3.8 meters from internal plasterboard to internal plasterboard here. Okay, so for me to do that, you'll see here the temporary dimensions come up. So I'm going to move that wall to match that. If the temporary dimensions don't match that accuracy that you need, you can actually move these little blue circles and then snap them to your internal kind of partition wall there. So I've snapped it there to there. It's saying that that wall is 4.2297 long, so I'm going to change that to 3800 off that edge, and that's going to move that now to 3.8. And then up here, again, if I click on this wall, that should be from that edge of that plasterboard to the edge of that internal plasterboard there should be 3.4, so that's all near enough, but 340. That moves that. Again, this wall should be, then the other wall, this wall should be 3.4 from this side. So if I go down here and I adjust that, I will click on, make sure that that is to the internal. Yep, it is. That should be now 340 the internal face, and that gives me the space in between. There. This wall should be 2.4 from this plasterboard, so 240, and then whatever's left is left for me. Doesn't matter from that side. The next bit here is going to be my corridor. So if I want to move, now the key thing is making sure you move the right wall. If I move this wall, and if I want to make that dimension 1500, that moves that wall and puts that wall, puts that dimension back as inaccurate. So make sure you pick the right wall. The wall you want to move is the wall you should select. Okay, so that's one thing to remember. Sometimes students go between the two and then realize they're changing things that they've already changed, and which means they're going back again to fix things. They don't know why that happens. So make sure you click at the right wall. Make sure you click the wall that you need to click and change as being the wall that you're going to be changing. So if I move that to 1500, that's going to change that to 1500. And then from here, again, same things apply. You just go around selecting all those walls, picking and selecting which ones you need to change. Okay, and to check the final results, if you just go to 3D, you now check that your walls are where they should be. So you should be on ground floor, and that's all your internal walls start to be placed inside of your plan. So that's how you place internal walls and how you add a level of accuracy into that plan to follow a sketch or a design that you already have.